of my watch of Prey. And man, oh man, let me get it out of the way right off the jump. Best Predator movie by far. I don't want to hear it. There is no argument here. There is no competition. None of the others come close. Prey is absolutely the best Predator movie in the franchise. And not only that, it's also an amazing film. Where to even begin? So the story, oh, God, all over the place. It's just, God, I'm just coming right off of it, so everything's like really fresh right now. The story of this Comanche, Comanche tribe that basically is encountering some problems with a local lion that they're trying to hunt down because it's hunted a few of their tribesmen, and during this hunt, one of their members, Neru, played by Amber Midthunder, who is looking to be one of these hunters. She wants to be held in the same esteem as the rest of the tribe. They end up coming across the discovery that there's something else out there hunting them that's deadlier than a lion. And this thing has better hunting skills than they do. And of course, we know what that is. That's going to be a predator. And right off the gate, we're in a completely different setting than we've been before, because in every single other Predator film, it's been like a modern day kind of situation. So when the original film came out, it's still basically modern day at that point. Same with Predator 2, same with Predator, same with The Predator. So basically, our protagonists, whoever they were, they had the luxury of modern weaponry at that time. But the thing is that Prey is set back in 1717. So what's going to be interesting is how are these characters, whether it's our lead character of Naru, or whether it's anybody else you might encounter, how are they going to stack up against the Predator when they don't have even close to modern weaponry to go against it? And of course, we know mostly that doesn't matter, because in a Predator film, usually by the end of it, they're stripped down to nothing but like some kind of like blade and like blunt object as it is. So it's not like the guns and stuff really matters that much, but still, it's an interesting setting to be in. And again, the story really focuses on Neru's journey, because she is, a young Comanche who is really not seen as a warrior, and she really wants to be held the same way that the rest of the warriors in her tribe are held. And so you see her busting her ass to hunt and hone her skills and get better with her weapons, so she can actually be out there doing those things. But due to just like a few misfortunes for one reason or another, it keeps getting away from her. For example, when she joins the rest of the warriors to hunt a lion that has taken one of their fellow tribesmen, she almost has the lion, but because she slips and falls and knocks herself out, the lion is still killed, but she's seen as kind of being careless and as not being responsible and not being trustworthy of going out there and joining on these hunts. And so it's like, for every step forward, it's like two steps backwards because of one misfortune or another. But the thing is that Naru also has the information that there's something else out there that's hunting them, something else out there that's more dangerous than this lion. And it's interesting because watching the film, it's been said, one of the things been said about Predator is that how you make it a good Predator movie is that it's not about the Predator. Like, you have to go and just make a movie about literally anything else and then add the Predator to that, and that's what makes it good. So for example, the first movie is kind of like this spy commando tale where a group of commandos go to rescue a prime minister, and it turns out that their intelligence officer, the CIA, has betrayed them. He's using them for a completely different mission instead. And then, hey, surprise, Predator shows up. Predator 2, it's the drug war in LA, and this detective and his team is investigating all these drug warlords in LA, and it turns out the reason why he's investigating it is because the Predator is slowly killing off all of these drug lords. Hey, you drop them right in there. Predators, the idea is that you take all of these serial killers, all these killers, all these dangerous people, and you just drop them into the Predator world. Bam. And then you have The Predator, which, granted, I do enjoy. But the problem is that movie focuses on the Predator. And because of that, that might be the reason why a lot of people don't regard it as well, because then we have to add things to the story and to the mythology of the Predator itself that we didn't think about before. And it does make sense. Really think about that. Predator 1, Predator 2, Predators, they're all stories that they could still work if the Predator wasn't in it. But The Predator, the most recent film, doesn't work if you take the Predator out, because it's all focused on it. And that might be the issue, is that Predator's never been that deep. You know, we just know it's a hunter. We don't need anything else about it. So like or hate it, we got away from that. And Dan Trachtenberg does such a great job with it. Now, the script was written by Patrick Eisen, and I have a feeling, because, again, you know, it's a movie and drop Predator into it. I have a feeling that if this wasn't designed as a Predator film originally, and I don't think it was, because knowing the films that Dan Trachtenberg does, like he did 10 Cloverfield Lane, and we all know famously that was not a Cloverfield movie at first, completely different film. So same kind of situation here. And I wonder if there was an original script to where there wasn't a predator and it was about a bear, because there is a bear encounter in this film, but I wonder if that's what the movie was actually initially about, was about Naru going through this trial of becoming a warrior and facing off against a bear, when originally they think it's a wolf or they think it's a mountain lion. But no, it's not that. Like, those things are there, but there's actually a bear as well too. So I wonder if that was it. And maybe that's why this is so good, because following Naru's journey and watching her consistently improve her skills over the course of this movie. She's just getting better and better, and she's improving her weapons as well too, because she wants to be more efficient. And again, after making all these like small mistakes that they're really not her fault, you know, she's constantly trying to improve and show she can do it, that by the time the end of the movie comes, it's absolutely believable that she's going to be the one facing off against the predator itself. And again, they do a good job of really scaling things back, including, and one of the only spoilers I give there is that the Predator smart cannon, the laser cannon he has on his shoulder, or it has on its shoulder typically, has always been a laser weapon, and in this film, it's not a laser weapon. And so it also kind of gives the idea that maybe in this time frame, because again, this film is set at least 200 years before, 260 years prior to the original Predator film, which would be the earliest like that we've seen in the franchise where they encounter the species. What I'm saying is that, so does that mean they didn't have lasers back then, and like that had to evolve too? I like that implication, because it really shows like how these predators evolve. But I love the way that by the end of the film, Naru has just evolved into this person that she needed to become to face off against the predator. And it's kind of an extreme evolution, because here's the thing. I get it with Arnold in the original film, Danny Glover, Adrian Brody, and so on, but they're already kind of the tough guy. They're already kind of the like what they need to be to beat the predator. It's just changing their weaponry or changing and getting the trap set up here. Whereas Naru, she actually has to grow into like this actual warrior by the end of the film, and she already is. Like she proves it far earlier in the film that she's capable of doing what the others don't believe that she can. But you know, she transforms herself by the end of this film to where she still looks the same, but you know, she's in her war paint. She's on the hunt at this point, and she's ready for this fight. And I absolutely loved seeing that. As well, I love seeing all the nods to all the other Predator films in this movie as well too. There's a famous line from the original Predator that made its way into this one as well. The setting of the kind of misty gray foggy forest, straight out of Predators. There was something for Predator 2 in there as well too, and I can't remember what the hell it was now. But it actually it paid homage to that. The design of the Predator itself, I thought at least, looked very similar to the design of one of the Predators in The Predator. I'm saying Predator a lot, but the design of the Predator in this film, in Prey, resemble the look of one of the Predators in the most recent film. And that's important just because I feel that all the Predators in 1, 2, and 3 all relatively look the same in those 3 films, but I thought the ones in the recent movie didn't look the same. So it's interesting to see this one take that look from it as well. Oh, I remember what the nod to the second film was: the gun. The gun that they give to Danny Glover at the end of the movie. We get to see that gun's origin, and it's so fucking cool because yeah, Predator 2 is my film. Predator 2 was my favorite before this. But anyway, back to Prey. Uh, it's very interesting that again, the film itself decides to make a movie and then add the Predator into that. And I think that's the wise decision because we devote so much time to seeing how this tribe hunts and their kind of politics within the tribe itself. And then even dealing with this cadre of like Frenchmen who come across the Predator as well too. You just get to see how Naru is combating like so many like enemies at every single side. Whether it's within her own friends or the Predator itself or all these animals out there, and they give her so much to work with in this film. Like she, like again, Amber Midthunder is so amazing in this role, and one of the best. Like she's not new, and that's the crazy thing about it is that she's actually been acting in Hollywood for 20 years at this point now. But I know this is gonna kind of be like the big one where everybody kind of like realizes who she is, and I really hope this leads to a lot of really really good things for her because absolutely stunning in the role, just completely stunning with it, and it'd be remiss of me to not mention some of the others who appeared: Dakota Beavers, Stormy Kip, Michelle Thrush as some of the other of the Comanche tribe, and who just also put in such a great performance with this. And I love the fact that at no point do you feel taken out of the movie itself. And the only thing that sucked, the only thing I didn't really enjoy, is that the Comanche language track wasn't available yet. Hulu, get on that. It should be available right away. No, it's a dub, but that is the way that I want to watch the movie. And the thing is that I have such a great opinion of it already, watching it in the English language, that I can't wait for the dub to come out to watch it again in the way that it's supposed to be enjoyed. Now, beyond that, if you want to know about the violence, the kills, the blood, oh yeah, it's absolutely there. This is definitely a bloody film, and I do think that Predators, the third film, is the goriest it got, honestly, because the Predator is a little bit over the top, I felt, so I don't think they match up. But Predators, the third film, got really gory with some of the kills and some of like the violence that happened within it, and I definitely think this tops that for sure. There's still a lot of the same weaponry, and you know that the Predator is all about blades, wrist blades, spears, shields, things like that, and so a lot of people really, really get cut up in this movie. But the Predator's not the only one that's doing that as well. You got to keep in mind that we're living back in a time to where everybody's hunting off the land. So we see quite a many skinned and killed animals in this movie as well too. It's very authentic to its time. Now, beyond that, if you're asking, like, where's it fit in with the other films? Like, can it lead to a sequel? Those things. It doesn't have to, and it doesn't matter because it's a very isolated story. All of these movies are very isolated stories. Like, honestly, I think the only films that really added that was the third and fourth film because they really wanted to make a franchise. First and second films, they don't really leave it to where it's like, okay, cool, there's more shit to go into at that point. And Prey doesn't do that either. Prey treats this movie as its own movie. We don't need to worry about a sequel. Like, sure, could they make one, but there'd be no specific reason to come back and visit these characters. They could. It could be interesting. But I would definitely feel that there's no reason to come back and visit these characters again. The question will always come up about whether or not the release direct to Hulu was the right idea. And that's always going to be a big debate because I always feel that whenever possible, we want to get a theatrical release for, you know, big franchise films like this. But I also understand that in order to get films like this, sometimes we have to accept the fact that it's going direct to streaming or going direct to, you know, Blu-ray or whatever. Sometimes that's just the trade-off we have to make, and I get it, because after the release of The Predator, you know, it became very clear that the one thing Predator films don't do is perform in theaters. They don't. The original film managed to be a really, really big hit, but if you think about it, the second film, the last, it was years. It was years when we saw Predator on screen again. Like, from Predator 2, we didn't see it again until Alien versus Predator. And that's a big gap. I want to say 10 years? That sounds like 10 years. I want to say 94, or was it 92? Might be 12 years at that point. But it's a big gap. So going to Hulu definitely seems like it was the right choice for it, even though the film is absolutely amazing. This is definitely one that I hope gets a physical release, because this is one I would absolutely love to own physically as well. It is such a beautiful film at that. And just amazing, just absolutely amazing. And again, the thing about it is that this movie actually has a story to it. And I'm not accusing Predator 1 or 2 not having a good story, but it's just the stories were very inconsequential as well too. Okay, I do understand that Predator 1 and 2 they're about about this war, and then they're about drug lords and everything. But at the end of the day, we're still getting it to be a Predator film. Prey would work without the Predator. Prey would absolutely work without the Predator. And yes, I said those other ones would work, but it's such a strong story. I don't see how it couldn't be the best Predator film in the series, because of the fact that when you add the Predator, it's absolutely fantastic, but without the Predator, it's still damn good. And because of that, I don't see how we could see that it's not better. I think a lot of people who worship the original film, I shouldn't say that. That's negative connotation. A lot of people who really still love and enjoy the first film, they also aren't considering the fact that a lot of the reasons you might still enjoy it is because of the one-liners. That maybe it's not necessarily a good movie, but maybe it's that you enjoy the jokes, the one-liners, and the "get to the chopper," you know, and that's actually what you're thinking about. Because if all those one-liners were gone, if all the jokes that we make about the original Predator was gone, would you still think it's a better film than Prey? And I don't think many of you would actually say that you do. And tell me in the comments, honestly. Watch Prey. Go watch Predator if you haven't watched it recently. Tell me in the comments, which do you think you would actually go for? Because I think Prey is the best Predator film. Hands down. It is absolutely the best Predator film, because it achieves the one thing flawlessly that the other films do not. That it tells a competent, engaging, and just downright gripping story without the Predator having to be involved. And the moment the Predator does become involved, it only continues to elevate an already amazing story. Check it out. Prey is available on Hulu right now, along with a number of the other movies in the Predator franchise. Go watch it, y'all. Prey. Hey everybody, I appreciate you checking out this video, whether it was a review, whether it was a new episode, whether it was an unboxing, an interview, or whatever else. I want to remind you can check out my separate reviews also on my YouTube page, and new full episodes go up every Wednesday night on YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and on your favorite podcasting platforms at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.